All right. Well, next up we have Aaron. He's gonna give us a little talk about his work on the Cassandra Corner. So yeah, go ahead and take it away, Aaron.
All right. Thank you, Paul.
Mhm.
I hope you all can see my screen. I'm actually not going to spend a whole lot of time here. I think I only have something like 4 or 5 slides. But the idea is that for those of you who don't know, we do have a podcast in the community that I've been doing for a little while now, actually. And yeah, I was asked to come here to the town hall and talk about it a little bit. So yeah, let's get to it. Anyway, in case you couldn't tell, it is called the Apache Cassandra Corner. It's on Spotify for podcasters. It was formerly known as Anchor, if anyone had ever used that for podcasting. I actually do rebroadcast it via RSS to both Apple Podcasts and Google. Lately, well, yeah, a little bit into season 2. They started offering the ability to do video podcasts. So I've been doing that for about a year now. The first season are all audio only, but we've done some video as of late for it. Um, it was actually rated in Spotify's top 30% most followed, which, well, I realize isn't very exclusive company. It's like a whole third of, almost a third of like all the podcasts that are on Spotify. But I thought that was pretty cool. We actually have more content than 71% of all other tech podcasts. And it's streamed in more than 20 countries. Like I said, been doing it a few seasons now. We just did episode 1 of season 3 which was with John Headed. And then yeah, we've done about 27 episodes so far. So hey, real easy. That's kind of what it is. The format is pretty simple. It's just a simple one-on-one interview, aim for about 20 minutes of content. Sometimes we're a little under that. Sometimes we're way over that. I think when I had Mick on, I think that episode was like 11 minutes long. So he was pretty concise. But yeah, 20 minutes is about what I go for, and we talk about a little about your if the guest's background, community involvement, other current projects and role, etc., as it relates to Apache Cassandra. And that's actually, a picture of one of the times that I had Sarma Pittapalli on, who's also a catalyst. Um, at the end of last year, I was sent a year-end summary for how the podcast had done, how it performed. 82% of our audience were new listeners. And like 11% of them started with the episode where I interviewed Ottavio Santana. For those of you who don't know, Ottavio has been loosely involved with the project every now and then. He wrote an open source tool for it. Wow, this has got to be like 2013. It was quite a while ago, but Ottavio is an author. He's a Java champion, so he does have a little bit of a following. He's originally from Brazil and now lives in Portugal. And it should come as no surprise that it was reported most of our new listeners were from Brazil last year. Otherwise, the top episode streamed last year wasn't even recorded last year. It was at the tail end of 2022 at ApacheCon. I interviewed Chung and Jordan of Netflix, and that was far and away the most popular episode last year. The most shared episode was when I interviewed German and Theo from Microsoft, talking a little bit about what they do with managed Cassandra for Azure at Microsoft and some of the other projects that they do. And the image here is of the episode with Ottavio and I, as we were kind of going through some of his stuff. So hey, my final pitch, if you want to be a guest, it's kind of cool. We talk about Cassandra and Cassandra related projects and other tech. But most importantly, we have fun. I had John on a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think we stopped laughing the entire time. There's an image of Raul and I there. That was right after Raul had dropped an S bomb that I had to go back and bleep out. So So yeah, that was that. And of course, you know, with you know, I had Jonathan and then Aaron Morton. Aaron Morton relayed the story of you know, how he came home from the pub one night after a few drinks and went into the fridge and he's like, "Hey, I want a pickle." And he looked in the jar. Oh, there's the last pickle. And then ran out and registered the domain name. So, you know, like I said, we keep it light, we have fun. So, and seriously, that is basically all I have. You know, just quick thank you for your time. And here's my email if you want to reach out. Anyone who wants to be a guest, you know, or if you know someone who'd be a good guest, please reach out. And yeah, I'd love to have you on. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, it's such a service, I think, to the community. So that's why I wanted to bring you on.
Oh, well, hey,
Also,
thanks.
yeah, and also let people know who don't know about it, that it exists. So yeah, well, I have a question. I mean, so what's your how do you pick the topics and how do you find the people to talk, or do they find you?
Well, usually finding guests is a result of me pleading on the one of the mailing lists. But you know, like I said, you know, I've talked with a lot of folks who aren't necessarily active in the community, but maybe working on something that's like Cassandra adjacent. And that's where I've actually I think gotten some of the more interesting guests too. You know, I mean, for instance, I had Melissa on here a couple of years ago, I think, because you know, and a lot of people don't realize, and that's why I wanted to have her on, is that you know the work she does with Constantia really does help us as a community and help get the word out there. So that's an example where it doesn't have to be super duper technical. But just, you know, something that helps the community, something that's adjacent to the community that people might find interesting. So yeah.
Sure. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll have to take your tips over blasting the user list for hot lead.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, really appreciate it. Yeah, well, does anybody else have any questions for Aaron?